Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
From makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia, this is the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I am your host, Joey Harris. Follow the show on Twitter at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. Greetings and salutations to you, folks. We are back today. Project 45 goes to the year 2019 as we look at the Evolve 10th anniversary show from July 13th, 2019. My wife had been in the hospital for surgery, and I remember this day very well because this was the day that she was released from the hospital after surgery. Let's learn a little bit more about Evolve. From Wikipedia, Evolve Wrestling was an American professional wrestling promotion founded in 2010 by former Ring of Honor booker and Dragon Gate USA Vice President Gabe Sapolsky. The company featured a roster of wrestlers from all over America, as well as several competitors from Japan. The promotion had a close working relationship with sister promotion Dragon Gate USA until Dragon Gate USA's closure in August 2015. In 2015, Evolve formed a relationship with WWE, allowing WWE to scout Evolve talent and potentially sign them. On July 2nd, 2020, Evolve was officially purchased by WWE. The Evolve 10th anniversary celebration took place on July 13th, 2019 from the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was shown live on the WWE Network. We start out with the Then, Now, Forever intro. Then footage of WWE superstars competing in Evolve. Then the Evolve logo. A live shot of Lenny Leonard in the ring with some Evolve wrestlers to welcome us to the Evolve 10th anniversary special. Several of the wrestlers try to attack each other. Josh Briggs is left in the ring. The fans chant Josh Briggs. He says tonight is about opportunity. His name is Josh Briggs, and tonight he is taking his opportunity. He then points outside the ring and says his opponent, Anthony Green, is standing right there. He then tells Green to get in the ring so they can get the show started. Josh Briggs versus Anthony Green with Brandy Lauren. I have seen both men wrestle in person many times. The bell rings and Green rushes Briggs. They lock up and Briggs just tosses Green away. Green up in the corner and Briggs then tosses him out of the corner. Green rushes Briggs in the corner again, and Briggs backdrops Green to the apron. Briggs blocks a shot. He brings Green back into the ring and into a backbreaker. Briggs, with an Irish whip, misses a clothesline attempt, and Green comes back with a Hurricane Rana. Briggs grabs Green, gives him a backbreaker sidewalk slam combo, and splashes him. He gets a 2 count. Briggs goes for a choke slam. Green gets away, but then runs into a boot from Briggs. Briggs on the apron, and Lauren grabs his boot. He has to shake her off before he can get back into the ring. As he is coming through the ropes, Green hits him with a knee lift. Green with a leg sweep. He jumps out to the apron, where Briggs grabs him by the throat. Green kicks Briggs repeatedly to knock him off the apron. Green then with a tope on Briggs, who grabs Green by the throat as he lands. Briggs then chokeslams Green on the apron. Lauren comes over to check on Green, and Briggs just stares at her. Lauren backs off as a Josh Briggs AG dueling chants go out. Briggs gets up on the apron. Green swats his leg into the ropes and then kicks Briggs in the thigh. Green with a super kick and a diamond cutter on Briggs on the apron. Outside the ring, Green with the right hand to Briggs, and does this promotion not have countouts? Green runs Briggs headfirst into the apron and then rolls Briggs back in. Green goes up top and hits Briggs with a reverse crossbody. He gets a 2 count. Green chopping Briggs in the corner. Briggs blocks a corner whip attempt. Briggs gets Green in the corner, and Green gets his elbow up on the charge. Green with a snapmare to Briggs in the corner. Green stomping Briggs in the corner. The referee gets Green away, allowing Lauren to come off and slap Briggs. Green pulls Briggs away from the ropes and gets another 2 count. Both back to their feet, and Briggs shoves Green down to the mat. Green with a jawbreaker neckbreaker combo to Briggs. Green gets another 2 count. Green goes for a suplex, but Briggs counters, picks Green up, and just throws him away. Green rushes Briggs, who hits Green with a back elbow. Green rushes Briggs again, who gets out of the way, and Green tumbles out to the floor. He gets right back in and Green hits him with a clothesline that doesn't affect Briggs, who comes back with a flying clothesline to Green. Briggs with a running back elbow to Green in the corner. Briggs then charges Green again, and Green hits him with a super kick. Briggs powers up and hits Green with 3 running kicks. Briggs then grabs Green and hits 2 backbreakers. He gets another 2 count. Lauren shouting encouragement to Green as Briggs gets up looking pissed. Green blocks a belly-to-back suplex attempt. Green with elbows to the back of Briggs' head. Green with a single leg pickup. Briggs turns over to sling Green off of him. Green with a running forearm to Briggs. He runs the ropes and Briggs catches him with a big boot. A sort of modified powerbomb by Briggs gets another 2 count. Briggs can't believe Green kicked out. Briggs with an Irish whip drops his head and Green hits him with a knee to the face. Green with a step-up enziguri, but Briggs still won't go down. Green pushes off and hits yet another step-up enziguri. Green follows that up with a belly-to-back suplex. Green with a side slam. He gets a 2 count, so Green transitions to a single leg grab. Briggs able to get to the ropes. Green stomps on the leg of Briggs. Green goes up top. He goes for the 450, but Briggs moves so Green rolls through. Briggs gets Green in the corner and grabs his leg, but Green with another enziguri to get back out of the move. He rolls Briggs up to slam Briggs up against the ropes. Green goes up top but gets caught and punched by Briggs. Briggs also climbs up top and puts Green on his back. Lauren grabs Green's boots to keep him down but gets caught and yelled at by the referee and thrown out. Green takes advantage of the distraction and does a victory roll from the top rope for another 2 count. Green can't believe that Briggs kicked out. Green with a super kick. Then another super kick, but Briggs won't go down. Briggs blocks a 3rd attempt and hits the go to hell on Green. Briggs goes for a chokeslam, but Green slips away and hits a single leg to knock Briggs to the mat. Green looks for the single leg crab, but Briggs kicks him away, back and forth in the center of the ring. Briggs finally hits the chokeslam and pins Green. A feature on The Unwanted. A 4-way freestyle match. Sean Mulata versus Kurt Stallion versus Stephen Wolf versus Harlem Bravado. Wolf finally wins after a shooting star press. A feature on Anthony Henry. Arturo Ruas versus Anthony Henry. The bell rings, but they both avoid strikes. Ruas with a double leg pickup. He goes for an armbar, but Henry scrambles for and gets to the ropes. They circle each other. Henry with several strikes. Ruas covers up in the corner. Henry with a pickup and a slam to Ruas. Henry gets an armbar on Ruas, and Henry's nose is bleeding. Ruas rolls out of the move and is trying to get Henry down on the mat. Henry swings around and hooks Ruas with his leg to reapply the armbar. Ruas lifts Henry up and slams him down. Ruas then attacks Henry with left and right hands and gets a 2 count. Ruas then attacks Henry with a leg strike to drive Henry into the corner. He then hits Henry with a series of left and right hands until the referee gets Ruas away. Ruas comes back to choke Henry for a 3 count. Ruas follows that up with a knee to the chest. Back and forth in the middle of the ring until Henry rolls through and hits a double stomp to Ruas. Henry with a spinning heel kick to Ruas. Henry with a knee to Ruas's face, and Ruas reverses a corner whip and sends Henry into the turnbuckle. Henry gets his boots up on the charge, but Ruas grabs them and flips Henry over to the top rope. Henry then jumps to the top rope and hits Ruas with a missile drop kick. Both up and the crowd is applauding Henry. Henry with a running forearm to Ruas in the corner. Henry with the belly-to-back suplex to Ruas hangs on to the arm and then hits a Northern Light suplex and floats over into an armbar looking for the submission. Ruas trying to block the submission and hold on. Ruas lifts up and counters into a roll-up for a near fall. Ruas rolls to the outside to regroup. Henry goes to the apron and hits Ruas with a running knee to the outside. Henry rolls Ruas into the ring and then Henry goes up top. He goes for the double stomp, but Ruas moves out of the way. Henry goes for a running kick, but Ruas moves out of the way. Ruas with a series of strikes to Henry in the middle of the ring. He gets Henry into a seated position and hits a running kick to Henry. He gets another 2 count. Ruas attacking Henry with right hands on the mat while Henry covers up. Ruas gets Henry up on his shoulders, but Henry slips behind and gets a sleeper on Ruas while still on his back. Ruas backs into a corner and runs Henry into the turnbuckle to break the hold. Henry jumps back on Ruas's back to reapply the hold. Ruas again drives Henry into the turnbuckle to break the hold. Henry again jumps on Ruas's back to reapply the sleeper. Third verse, same as the first and second, I guess. Ruas goes down. Henry goes for a running kick, but Ruas rolls out of the way. Ruas up and hits an enziguri on Henry and hits a German suplex on Henry for a 2 count. Henry up and Ruas attacking him with body shots. Henry trying to kick Ruas away. They shove each other. Ruas with a kick to knock Henry to his knees. Ruas goes for a knee strike to Henry, who grabs Ruas by the leg. A series of leg strikes by Henry knocks Ruas to the ground. Henry goes to the top rope, but gets caught and hit with the right hand from Ruas. Ruas climbs up and looks to be going for a superplex, but Henry tries to prevent it with a series of body shots to Ruas. Henry knocks Ruas to the mat and then hits a double stomp to Ruas. Henry goes for the tornado DDT, but after repositioning, Henry hits it. Henry goes up top and hits the double stomp, but Ruas kicks out at 2. Henry gets the ankle lock on. Ruas fighting the pain and trying to make it to the ropes. Ruas twists around and counters into the knee bar on Henry. They then trade slaps on the mat. I hate contrived spots like this. If I were in that hole, yeah, you might reach up and slap me, so I would slap you back, but then I'm not going to just sit there so we can do it over and over. This isn't a slap fight. They both release the holds and struggle back to their feet, back and forth in the center of the ring. They're hitting each other with absolute bombs, as Lenny Leonard puts it, and the crowd is getting into it. Henry gets the better of the exchange and drives Ruas to his knees, where Ruas covers up. Henry rushes Ruas, who gets a spinning heel kick to Henry out of nowhere to get the pin. A feature on the rivalry between Shotzi Blackheart and Brandi Lauren. No disqualification match. Brandi Lauren versus Shotzi Blackheart. The bell rings as they go to lock up. Natalia Markova comes out of nowhere to attack Blackheart from behind. She holds on to Blackheart while Lauren gets on the mic and says, "You want a no DQ? Well, you've got it." Markova hits Blackheart with a running kick to the face. Markova then hits Blackheart with a spinning X Factor. Markova then hits Blackheart with a spinning heel kick in the corner. Blackheart blocks a shot and comes back with a series of chops to Markova. Blackheart then kicks Markova in the face and follows that up with an enziguri over the top rope. Blackheart hits a 619 to Markova. Blackheart goes up top and hits Markova with a missile drop kick. Markova goes out to the floor to confer with Lauren, and Blackheart hits them both with a tope. You see that Blackheart's nose is bleeding as she gets up and a Shotzi chant goes out. Easy for me to say, huh? She runs Lauren headfirst into the apron. Blackheart reaches under the ring and pulls out some chairs. Blackheart setting up the chairs at ringside as the fans chant, "We want tables." You can't make people happy. Lauren grabs a chair and goes to hit Blackheart with it, only to get kicked in the midsection by Blackheart. Blackheart throws Lauren back into the ring and grabs a chair. But Lauren does a running baseball slide into Blackheart, driving the chair into Blackheart's face. Lauren runs Blackheart into the apron headfirst as an ECW chant goes out. Lauren then whips Blackheart into the apron. Lauren then sets 4 chairs up and faces them towards each other. She then goes to suplex Blackheart onto the chairs, but Blackheart blocks it and goes to run Lauren into the corner post. Lauren reverses it at the last second and runs Blackheart in instead. Lauren with a forearm shot, and then she grabs another chair. She sets it up and says, "You, Blackheart, I'm giving you exactly what you wanted," and Blackheart hits Lauren with a palm strike to the face. She then kicks Lauren into a seated position in the chair, and then does a running splash into the chair and Lauren. Blackheart gets Lauren up on the apron and looks to bulldog Lauren into the post, but Lauren pushes Blackheart into the post instead and then powerbomb Blackheart into the apron. Lauren throws Blackheart back into the ring and gets a 2 count. Lauren runs Blackheart headfirst into a turnbuckle and then corner whips Blackheart. Blackheart gets herself up to avoid a charge. She spins out of the corner and hits a running knee to Lauren's midsection. Lauren pushes Blackheart off, but misses a clothesline attempt, and Blackheart hits a rolling elbow to Lauren. A step up enziguri by Blackheart finally knocks Lauren off her feet and into the corner buckle. Blackheart then nails Lauren with a cannonball to the corner. Lauren rolls under the bottom rope to the apron, sliced bread, but doesn't set it up right, so has to stop and Lauren kicks off. Lauren grabs Blackheart, but Blackheart reverses it and runs Lauren into the apron. Blackheart then runs Lauren into the set-up chairs. Blackheart goes under the ring, pulls out another chair, and sets it up as the fans chant, "We want tables again." There's no pleasing this crowd at all. Blackheart stacks the set-up chair on the other chairs. Blackheart sits Lauren on the top chair and hits Lauren with a flurry of forearms. Blackheart goes back into the ring and runs as if she's going to do a suicide dive onto Lauren in the chair, but Anthony Green comes out and Blackheart hits him with a baseball slide instead. Blackheart then goes for the dive again, but Green pulls Lauren out of the way and Blackheart goes crashing into the stack of chairs. The crowd chants, "Holy shit." Green then throws Blackheart back into the ring and tells Loren to pin her. Loren gets a 2 count, and Green can't believe that Blackheart kicked out. A Shotzi chant goes out. Green pulls a kendo stick and hands it to Loren. Kurt Stallion comes out, and he and Green brawl to the back. Loren hits Blackheart with the kendo stick several times and then pins her. Referee comes out to help Blackheart to the back, and the crowd gives her a standing ovation and chants Shotzi. Loren is mad at the crowd, telling them to shut up and that she won. We then get some upcoming Evolve event information. Colby Corino with Sean Mulata versus Babatunda. The bell rings, and there's a clash of styles here and a remarkable height difference. Corino screams, "I don't care who you are," and slaps Babatunda in the chest. He does it again, and Babatunda grabs his hand as the crowd chants, "You fucked up," to Corino. Babatunda twists the hand of Corino, driving him down to the mat. Corino gets back to his feet and hits Babatunda with the right hand. He goes for another right, but Babatunda grabs his throat and drives Corino into the corner. Babatunda then throws Corino across the ring. Corino rolls to the outside to regroup, and Mulata comes over to check on him. Babatunda comes out after Corino and gets into Mulata's face. He then gets distracted by Mulata, and Corino tries to take advantage, but Babatunda grabs Corino by the throat and places him onto the apron. Babatunda then slaps Corino across the chest. Babatunda then grabs Corino, lifts Corino up, and press slams Corino over the top rope into the ring. Babatunda goes to get back in the ring, only to get hit with a running knee by Corino. Mulata then attacks Babatunda as he is trying to get back in the ring. Corino attacking Babatunda with forearm shots to the back as Babatunda tries to get back in the ring. Babatunda shoves Corino away, and Corino hits a top rope cannonball onto Babatunda, and a minor Colby chant goes out. Corino gets a 2 count. Corino goes up top. He comes off, and Babatunda catches him by the throat. Babatunda lifts Corino up and throws him into a corner. Babatunda then hits a corner splash onto Corino, and then open hand slaps Corino down to the mat. Babatunda then drops an elbow on Corino. Babatunda then hits a big splash and pins Corino. Babatunda music plays, and as he is getting his hand raised, Eddie Kingston comes out with the mic and says, "Cut that music. This ain't happening." Kingston and the rest of the Unwanted check on Corino. Kingston then introduces the Unwanted to the crowd. They send Corino to the back, and then Kingston says they have a beef with Babatunda. He says people like Babatunda make him sick because he gets handed everything, because he played football and he is 7 feet tall, while Kingston traveled the road. Joe Gacy travels the road. Sean Mulata has traveled the road. They did it the right way. Kingston then tells the cameraman to get out of his face. Kingston tells Babatunda that the Unwanted did things the right way, while Babatunda had everything handed to him at a performance center. Kingston says his performance center is East 237th Street. He says to Babatunda, "I'll tell you right now, just like we did the Street Profits, you're welcome. They're going to take Babatunda out and take his spot." He then calls Babatunda a goofy bastard. The Unwanted surrounded the ring when the music hits, and AR Fox and Leon Ruff with Ayla Fox and the Skulk come out. They are scheduled to take on the Unwanted for the tag team titles. Fox and Ruff run to the ring and then hit twin suicide dives onto the Unwanted on the other side of the ring. The crowd loves it, and Ruff and Fox get back in the ring. Tag team championship match. Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy versus AR Fox and Leon Ruff. Fox and Ruff go for another suicide dive, but the Unwanted move out of the way, so Fox and Ruff put on the brakes. The Unwanted move to opposite sides of the ring, so Fox and Ruff hit suicide dives to Kingston and Gacy then. Fox and Ruff then get back into the ring, but Kingston and Gacy drag them back to the outside again. Gacy then gets in and goes to hit a suicide dive on Fox, who moves, and Gacy hits Kingston instead. Ruff then gets up top and hits a cannonball on Kingston, and Gacy looks like he injured himself more than them. He gets up as the fans start to chant AR Fox. Ruff and Gacy start. Ruff grabs Gacy by the hand and goes up top. He dumps some sort of convoluted moves into a Hurricane Rana on Gacy. Fox then hits Gacy with a super kick. Fox and Ruff then hit a series of moves on Gacy. They need to remember that less is more sometimes. Ruff with a Northern Lights suplex, but Kingston breaks up the pin attempt. Kingston goes for a double clothesline, but Ruff and Fox duck it as Leonard says this match is being held under relaxed rules. Double drop kick to Kingston from Fox and Ruff. Ruff grabs Kingston and holds him for Fox to go up top and hit a fall away cutter on Kingston, but Kingston pushes Ruff into the cutter instead. Gacy then hits a handspring ace crusher on Fox. The Unwanted with a back elbow side suplex combo on Fox. The Unwanted then with a running corner clothesline to Fox. Double forearm shot to Ruff, and Kingston gets a 2 count. A Let's Go Ruff chant goes out. Kingston with a scoop slam. Kingston then goes up top, while Gacy hits Ruff with another scoop slam. Gacy then lifts Ruff up on Kingston's shoulder, and Kingston hits a second rope powerbomb on Ruff. He gets a 2 count. Kingston and Gacy then hit an STO on Fox. Ruff comes back and hits both Kingston and Gacy with forearms. The Unwanted then get Ruff in the corner. They take turns chopping him. Kingston then headbutts Ruff down and then puts Ruff on the top rope, and he and Gacy do a superplex into a powerbomb combo and still just get a 2 count. Gacy goes up top and motions for Kingston to give him Ruff, and Kingston picks Ruff up, but Fox grabs Ruff and saves him. Ruff and Fox then hit a pair of enziguris on the Unwanted. Ruff goes up top with Gacy. He and Fox have a double team move for Gacy in mind, but Kingston takes out Fox. Ruff then punching Gacy on the top rope. Kingston comes over to Ruff, who hits Kingston with a tornado DDT off the top rope. Fox hits the low main pain on Gacy, but only gets a 2 count. The crowd chants "They are Fox." Fox and Kingston get into a tug of war with each other over who will get an Irish whip on the other person. Kingston spins out and chops Fox down. Ruff goes for a crucifix on Gacy, but gets caught and held by Kingston, and Gacy and Kingston hit a lariat belly-to-back suplex combo on Ruff. They only get a 2 count, and Gacy can't believe it. Gacy goes outside and pulls out a table and sets it up on the outside. Kingston gets Ruff up on the top rope. Fox hits a coast-to-coast on Gacy. Ruff pivots around and hits the Rough Ride on Kingston. Ruff then runs across the ring and launches himself onto Gacy, and they both go crashing through the setup table. Fox then hits a 450 splash on Kingston to pin him, and we have new Evolved Tag Team Champions. They all celebrate in the ring. The Skulk are leading the celebration with the crowd as the Unwanted are shown going back to the locker room. A feature on Catchpoint and its history in the match coming up between Drew Gulak and Matt Riddle. Non-title Catchpoint reunion match. Matt Riddle with Kurt Stallion versus Drew Gulak. Riddle has never been my cup of tea, but he is talented and popular with many. He gets a great reaction. A group of men in Catchpoint hoodies circle the ring and then line the aisle as Gulak comes out. He is the current WWE Cruiserweight Champion. The hoodie guys go to the back as soon as Gulak gets into the ring. He also gets a good reaction and a Gulak chant as he is introduced. The bell rings and both men are being cautious and circling each other. They try to lock up and each try takedowns as the crowd starts a profane pro-Gulak chant that "I will spare you." Back and forth in the center of the ring with holds and counters. Riddle with a takedown, but Gulak kicks off. Both up and Gulak tries some kicks and Riddle deflects. Riddle with a waistlock takedown and Gulak trying to get a front face lock on. Riddle twists around and tries to get a submission move on. Gulak gets free and gets an ankle lock on. Riddle kicks off and quickly gets back to his feet. Both up and lock up again. Gulak gets to the ropes. Clean break. Riddle goes for another waistlock takedown. He gets it and slams Gulak down. Riddle with a hammerlock. Gulak gets back to his feet. Riddle cranks the hold on to drive Gulak to one knee. Gulak twists around and looking for the Gulak, but Riddle counters and goes for an armbar. He is too close to the ropes though. Clean break, and Riddle backs away to allow Gulak the opportunity to get up. Another lock up and drive to the corner. Riddle with some body shots. He finishes his barrage off with a forearm to Gulak's head. Riddle with a kick to the head and a push to Gulak in the corner. More kicks to Gulak, who holds onto the ropes and comes back with a double kick of his own to Riddle. Gulak goes up to the second rope to come off with a move, but gets hit with a knee lift from Riddle as it comes off. Riddle hits the Riptide Splash on Gulak. He gets a 1 count and immediately transitions to an armbar on Gulak. Riddle gets the Bromission on, but Gulak quickly counters into a cover for a 1 count. They back to opposite corners and the crowd gives them a round of applause. Both get back to their feet. Dueling Gulak bro chants go out as they trade shots and strikes. They battle and Gulak gets a front face lock on. He gets a brutal looking snap suplex and gets a 1 count. Headlock into a snapmare by Gulak. Gulak with a hard slap to Riddle's body that make people at ringside wince. Gulak with the head scissors. Riddle works himself up to his feet and out of the move. He goes for a brutal looking kick to the head of the seated Gulak, who ducks out of the way at the last second. They circle each other and both go for shots against the other, back and forth, and Gulak with the waistlock takedown. Riddle goes back to his feet and Gulak transitions to a headlock. Gulak with a side headlock takeover. Pretty good traditional wrestling match taking place here. Riddle again gets back to his feet and hits Gulak with some right hands. Riddle trying to break the waistlock. Gulak rolls Riddle up, but he rolls through to avoid the pin. Riddle shows a tremendous amount of power with a powerbomb to Gulak, but only gets a 1 count. Riddle goes for another knee strike, but Gulak blocks it and hits a powerbomb of his own. He gets a 2 count and counters immediately into a half crab on Riddle. Riddle makes it to the ropes. The crowd gives them another round of applause. Gulak with a series of European uppercuts to knock Riddle down and into the ropes. Riddle comes back with a series of open hand chops to Gulak's chest. Gulak misses a clothesline attempt, and Riddle gets a waistlock into a knee strike to knock Gulak to the mat. He gets a close 2 count. A Broton across the back, and Riddle goes up top, and Gulak up and hits a belly-to-back superplex on Riddle. He gets a 2 count. A double count going as the dueling chants start again. They go back and forth on their knees in the middle of the ring. Gulak tries to grab a single leg, and Riddle gets him into a front face lock and hits a series of forearms to Gulak's back, then a series of kicks to Gulak's back. Riddle with a Celtic kick to the chest for another 2 count. They exchange chops in the middle of the ring as a "This is awesome" chant goes out. Gulak with a couple of headbutts to knock Riddle to the mat. Gulak goes for a full Nelson, and Riddle's counters into a bro mission. Gulak slips out. Riddle transitions into a triangle choke, but Gulak quickly gets to the ropes. Riddle breaks on the 3 count. Riddle gets a front face lock on to the seated Gulak, who gets a quick small package on Riddle to get a 2 count. Riddle with a running forearm and a fisherman buster and gets a 2 count. Another round of applause, and I must say this is a hard-fought match. Gulak out to the apron and crawls to the turnbuckle to pull himself up by the ropes. Riddle grabs him and gets a sleeper on over the ropes. The referee starts counting Riddle. Gulak drops down to guillotine Riddle on the top rope to get out of the sleeper. Riddle up and hits Gulak with a released German suplex over the top rope. That was an impressive move. Riddle goes up top and comes off with a twisting splash straight into the Gulak by Gulak. Riddle counters into the bro Derek to get the pin. The crowd chants bro at Riddle. Gulak gets the mic. Gulak says Cat's Point was founded on 3 things: competition, opportunity, and respect. He then says, "Matthew Riddle, I stand here as the WWE Cruiserweight Champion in the middle of an involved ring, and bro, you are a hell of a competitor. I respect you, and it is always an honor." They shake hands and then hug. They do the Catch Point sign, and then Gulak calls out Kurt Stallion. He introduces himself and says, "I've got news for you. Matthew Riddle handpicked you to be his opponent tomorrow at Evolve, and I hope you are equally up to the task." A feature on the rivalry between Austin Theory and JD Drake. Title unification match. Evolve champion Austin Theory versus WWN champion JD Drake. Brian Idol comes out as the special guest ring announcer. He tries to make an announcement but keeps coughing, and I don't know where this is going. The lights go out, and when they come back on, Paul Heyman is in the ring. The crowd erupts into an ECW chant. Heyman bows to all 4 sides of the ring as a "holy shit" chant goes out. Then a welcome back chant as Heyman grabs the mic. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't heard, my name is Paul Heyman, and to be blunt, I am honored and I am privileged." A "thank you Heyman" chant goes out. He says, "No, thank you, because I'm honored and I'm privileged to be back home." Another ECW chant goes out. He says, "I have for many years been offered different guest spots on different shows." He says, "I don't do conventions. I don't do guest appearances on things, and to be very honest with you, if you would indulge me to be personal for a moment, I wasn't invited to come to the show." The crowd boos, and Heyman says, "No, no, no," because they know I always turn these things down. So they didn't bother to invite me, to be very blunt with you. I asked to be here. The crowd cheers. Heyman says, "The reason I asked to be here tonight," and someone yells out something, and Heyman says, "I'm sorry, in case you didn't understand, you're the schmuck yelling things out, and me, I'm just the extreme dude with the microphone." He continues and says, "The reason I asked to be here tonight is because this right here, you, everyone in that locker room, this promotion is the future." He says, "I do not want to be one of those old-time boxers sitting watching the black and white film of Jack Dempsey going, 'That used to be me.' I like to go into that locker room, take all that youth, rub it up against me, and when I get out of here tonight, I'm going to know more about the future of the industry than when I walked in the doors earlier. So for that reason, because I'm fat and I'm sweating my ass off right now, if you don't mind, I'd like to hang around just a little bit, indulge, and ring announce the next match. Because 5 years from now on YouTube or whatever the hot platform will be then, when you watch the video, you're going to watch this match and you're going to say to yourselves, that was the moment we all knew this industry was going to evolve." Theory out first. He is the Evolve champion. Drake out next, and he is the WWN champion. Heyman makes the introductions, and he is spectacular. The bell rings, and they stare at each other. Dueling Let's Go chants. Drake shoves Theory. Theory responds by slapping Drake. Theory ducks a shot and kicks Drake in the stomach and goes for ataxia, but Drake counters and goes for the drill bit. They then exchange blows. Drake with a corner whip, but Theory jumps up to avoid the charge. Drake misses a clothesline attempt, and Theory hits him with a drop kick. Drake misses another clothesline attempt, but then hits Theory with a drop kick of his own. They go outside. Theory throws a forearm at Drake, who ducks, and Theory hits the corner post instead, and Drake with a slap to Theory's chest, and Theory goes to the floor. Theory up, and Drake keeps chopping Theory in the chest. Theory starts crawling up the aisle trying to get away from Drake. Drake goes for a move, but Theory reverses it into a backdrop. Theory screams at Drake as the referee says to Theory that he has to get Drake into the ring as there are no countouts involved. Oh, that answers my question from earlier. Theory stomps on Drake. Theory yells at Drake that it took 15 years to get here, and it took Theory 3 years. Theory then throws Drake back into the ring. He only gets a 1 count. Theory screams that it was 5, channeling his inner King Kong Bundy, I guess. Drake hits Theory, who comes back with forearms to the head of Drake. Drake comes back with a chop that knocks Theory down. Theory goes up with a kick and a forearm to knock Drake down. Theory with more kicks and stomps to Drake and a kick to the ribs while Drake is hanging on the second rope. Theory with a snap suplex. He gets a 2 count. Theory takes Drake's own hand and puts it around Drake's throat and puts an armbar on Drake. Drake slapping at Theory with his other hand to try to get out of the move. Drake gets up and goes to kick Theory, who blocks the kick and hits Drake with a belly-to-back suplex. Theory with a standing moonsault to get another 2 count. Theory with a forearm to Drake's ribs. Drake gets to his feet in the corner and hits a chop to Theory. Theory responds with a running charge to Drake. Another forearm by Theory knocks Drake to one knee. Theory with more forearms, but Drake starting to come back. He gets back to his feet. He screams to Theory, "You can't hit me harder than life has." Drake then comes back with a chop that knocks Theory to one knee. Theory up and hitting Drake with a series of short clotheslines, but Drake won't go down. He gets Drake down to one knee, but Drake gets up quickly and hits Theory with the clothesline to knock Theory to the ground. The referee checking on both men. Drake rushes Theory, who hits Drake with a back elbow. Theory rushes Drake, who catches Theory with a scoop slam. Both down and a double count going. Both up, and Drake rushes Theory, who drop toe holds Drake into a turnbuckle. Theory with a rolling thunder drop kick to Drake. Theory with a crossbody to Drake, and Theory floats over the top rope to the apron. He goes for a double stomp on Drake, who rolls to the outside and grabs Theory by the leg. He pulls Theory out and then throws Theory up against the ropes, and as Theory bounces off and comes back, Drake hits him with a big right hand. Theory slowly collapses. Drake throws Theory back into the ring. Theory keeps rolling and goes back out to the floor on the other side. So Drake hits him with an impressive tope and rolls Theory back in. Drake chops and scoop slams Theory. Drake goes up to the second rope and does a beer bomb splash to get a 2 count. Drake goes up to the second rope again, but Theory up and comes back after Drake. Drake with some back elbows to knock Theory off and hits a leg lariat from the second rope. He follows it up with a running splash in the corner, but Theory moves at the last moment. Theory hits a blockbuster to get a close 2 count. Theory bleeding from his nose. Theory goes for ataxia, but Drake picks Theory up and drives him into a turnbuckle. Drake with a chop and both men are spent. Drake picks Theory up and puts him on the top rope and then chops Theory on the chest. Drake goes up top and looks to be going for a superplex, but Theory with some right hands to Drake to try to stop it. Theory slips through Drake's legs. He goes for a powerbomb, but Drake with the right hand to stop it. Theory goes to get Drake up on his shoulders and does a 3 seconds around the world bomb for another close 2 count. Theory goes for a move that Drake counters with a back body drop. Drake with a charge, but gets a boot to the face by Theory. Drake gets a stunner out of nowhere that Theory oversells to the point that even The Rock would say it's too much. Drake then hits a cannonball and the drill bit, but only gets another 2 count. Drake hits a moonsault and gets yet another 2 count. Both up on their knees and Drake with a right hand. Theory responds with forearm. Back and forth in the center of the ring. Theory again goes for ataxia, but Drake rolls through and hits a brutal looking lariat. Drake goes up top, but misses the moonsault when Theory moves. Theory with a series of super kicks and hits ataxia to get the pin and unify the 2 championships. Theory gets both belts and grabs a mic. He He says everyone knows that Evolve Wrestling is where it's at, and everybody's going to try their hardest to get here. They're going to chase their dreams. He then throws the WWN Championship down and steps on it. He says they're going to chase their dreams and realize the Evolve Championship symbolizes that your dream must go through me if you want to get where you want to go. Because Austin Theory is the measuring stick of Evolve. Austin Theory is the standard of Evolve. Austin Theory is the real superstar. As soon as he says that, the lights go out. When they come back on, Josh Briggs is standing behind Theory. Briggs grabs Theory and chokeslams him. Briggs then grabs the Evolve Championship and holds it up high. He then throws the championship down and leaves the ring. A feature on Josh Briggs. Main event, NXT Championship match. Adam Cole versus Akira Tozawa. The bell rings. They lock up. Battle for position and drive to the corner. They break clean. Cole taunts Tozawa. They circle each other again and Cole with a go-behind waist lock. Tozawa counters into a wrist lock. A series of counters until Tozawa gets a side headlock on Cole. Cole trying to get out, so Tozawa cranks it on harder. Cole manages to apply a head scissors. Tozawa rolls through to escape and gets back to the side headlock. Cole gets back to his feet and gets a side headlock on. Tozawa pushes off. Cole comes back with a shoulder block. Back and forth. Tozawa gets the octopus submission on. Cole gets to the ropes. Tozawa with a corner whip. He charges Cole, who backdrops Tozawa to the apron. Tozawa with an enziguri and goes up top. Cole grabs Tozawa's leg and yanks him off the top rope. Tozawa looks like he hit his head on the top turnbuckle. Tozawa waves the referee off as he gets up, and Cole hits him with a running kick. Cole then hits a neck breaker. Tozawa up, and Cole hits him with a forearm shot. Cole follows that up with a corner whip, and Tozawa hits the corner buckle hard. Cole with a snapmare. He follows that up with some driving knees into Tozawa's back. Cole goes back to the side headlock. Tozawa reaching for the ropes, but Cole pulls him back. Tozawa gets back to his feet and breaks free with a series of elbows. Cole hits Tozawa with a back elbow as Tozawa charges Cole. Cole screams, "I'm going to be NXT champion forever, and you suck," to Tozawa, who responds with a slap to the face. They trade forearm shots. Tozawa with a series of forearms, and Cole responds with a knee to the face and runs at Tozawa, who catches Cole up on his shoulders, and Cole with a series of elbows to try to get out of the move. Tozawa throws Cole to the mat and hits a big boot to Cole's face, and Cole rolls to the outside to regroup. Tozawa responds with a tope suicida on Cole on the outside. Tozawa goes for another one, but Cole wisely moves out of the way. Tozawa goes to the apron. He then runs along the apron and hits Cole with a senton to the floor. Tozawa's leg gets caught in the guardrail. Tozawa frees himself and throws Cole back into the ring. Tozawa goes up top and hits a missile drop kick on Cole. He gets a 2 count. Tozawa with a waist lock. Cole with a standing switch. A series of reversals. Cole gets an enziguri and a double knees to the back of Tozawa. He gets a 2 count. Cole gets Tozawa up in a fireman's carry, but Tozawa with a series of forearms to get back out of the move. Tozawa runs the ropes, and Cole hits him with a big kick and hits the backbreaker. He gets another 2 count. Cole with a forearm shot. Tozawa responds with an elbow to Cole. Back and forth. Tozawa beating Cole down with a series of forearms. Tozawa runs and Cole hits him with a bicycle kick, but Tozawa shakes it off and charges Cole again, only to get hit with another kick, and Cole charges Tozawa, who gets a bicycle kick of his own in. Cole responds with an enziguri. Cole rushes Tozawa, who has his hands up to block a strike. Cole stops and Tozawa psychs him out and hits Cole with a big right hand. Cole hits a big super kick at the charging Tozawa, both men down. Tozawa's mouthpiece went flying on the kick. Tozawa goes up top. Cole up and hits Tozawa with the forearm while he is on the top rope. Cole goes for a superplex, but Tozawa blocking the attempt. They trade chops. A forearm by Tozawa knocks Cole off the top rope. Tozawa comes off the top rope and Cole hits him with a super kick. Cole hits a brainbuster on Tozawa by driving Tozawa's head into Cole's knee. Another 2 count. Cole rolls out to the floor, grabs the NXT championship, and goes back into the ring. Tozawa struggles to get back up as the referee warns Cole to put the belt down as he tells Cole that he will disqualify him. Cole heads towards Tozawa, but Johnny Gargano comes out, distracting Cole, allowing Tozawa to get the roll up and a 2 count on Cole. Tozawa comes back with a snap German suplex on Cole. Tozawa grabs Cole from behind, and Cole responds with a series of back elbows to break the hold. Tozawa hits a snap German suplex. Tozawa gets a waist lock on. Cole with a series of back elbows to break the hold. Cole ducks an enziguri attempt. Tozawa connects with a second attempt. Tozawa goes up top and comes off for a backsplash, but Cole gets his knees up. Cole goes up top and hits the Panama Sunrise. He then hits the last shot on Tozawa and gets the pin. Cole grabs his title. Gargano comes into the ring and Cole slides out. Cole lifts the championship up and tells Gargano that it's his title, he's the champion. Gargano checks on Tozawa. A Johnny Wrestling chant goes out. Gargano gets on the microphone and says, "Let's hear it for Akira Tozawa." The crowd cheers. Gargano says every time he steps into this building, he's reminded of what they do, and this is awesome. Gargano says he was at the very first Evolve event back in 2009 in this building, and now 10 years later, he's back in this ring, in this building, live on the WWE Network, and that tells him two things. One, he's getting old, and two, professional wrestling in 2019 is pretty freaking cool, and it is because of the fans. They are making it what it is, and he thanks them so much for that. He then says back in the day, they used to close these things out by asking a very particular question to the audience. He brings the mic over to Tozawa, who asks, "Did you enjoy the show?" The crowd cheers. They then do the Daniel Bryant point and yes chant. He says there would be no Akira Tozawa, no Adam Cole, no Johnny Gargano if it wasn't for the fans. Seriously, they all started here, and the fans let them live their dreams, and they can't thank the fans enough for that. He says he's going to ask them for one more thing, because tonight, it isn't about these guys in the locker room. It's about the future of professional wrestling. It's about J.D. Drakes, the Austin Theories. It's about the Shotzi Blackhearts. It's about Josh Briggs. It's about every single one of them, and he wants the fans to support them as much as they supported him and the others who came before. The crowd cheers and does an Evolve Wrestling chant. Gargano thanks the crowd and tells them he loves them, and he loves Evolve Wrestling as they sign off. Final thoughts. This was an enjoyable show. You saw rising stars mixed with current stars. Recommended. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate it. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. Thank you for joining me this week. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.